Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I've never filmed on this side of my room before, so this is new, but I figured I would sit here and do my makeup since this is usually where I get ready in the mornings, and this is actually back here my TJ Maxx goodies where I store them. So we're going to be doing a testing out TJ Maxx makeup video today. I have so much that I am so behind on for these videos, and I don't know, it's kind of hard to do them because I want to do a full face, but I always buy similar products. Like I've noticed lately, I've bought a lot of bronzers, highlighters, and lip products is what I mostly go for. But I do have quite a good amount of things. It won't be quite a full face, but we will be testing out a lot of different products in today's video, and I'm going to be trying to do stuff that you can currently find in stores and maybe throw in a couple extras, but I want these to be pretty current so you guys can find these products as well. Let's go ahead and start this little testing makeup video. So the first thing I'm going to do is prime the skin. I'm going to go ahead and use this SPACKLE Mattifying Oil Control Primer that I got from TJ Maxx from Laura Geller. I was really excited about this since it is a mattifying primer. I think this will be awesome for summer, and you get a ton of product in here. 2 ounces of product. I feel like this will last so long. So it's kind of tinted here, which is interesting. It feels super silky smooth on the skin though. So even though it's like tinted, I don't think that really did anything per se. But yeah, my skin feels just really soft. It does feel kind of matte too, but not like it's sucking the life out of you, if you guys know what I mean. It just feels really soft. I like it. So that is the primer. Next up, I am going to go ahead and prime my eyes. I don't have any eye primer, so I'm just using this Fenty one. I always use this. It's called the Pro Filter Invisipink eye primer. So I usually like to do my eyeshadow first with my makeup looks, just because sometimes I'm a little bit messy with my eyeshadow, and that way if I do it first, I can just clean up any mistakes or fallout that I have before I put on my foundation. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, I'm actually using this one from MERCIER, which I've still seen at TJ Maxx. It is the Boheme Chic Eye Clay Palette. I have not used this yet. The packaging has gotten so dirty though, which is crazy. This is what it looks like. I just have swatched these in a video. So I don't know, I was kind of disappointed in the swatches, so I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to perform on the eyes, but let's go ahead and try it. I'm going to start off with the shade Rose Clay here, and I'm going to place that all over the lid to set my eye primer. And hopefully it's not too pink toned. Oh, I think that'll work. I'm just going to do a really simple look because I feel like this eyeshadow palette is so natural looking. For my crease shade, I'm going to use the shade Earth Clay, which is this one. It's a very cool toned brown. I feel like this color is not picking up anything on my brush when I rub it. If you guys can see, like it's literally, I feel like it's not picking up, but we have a little bit of color there, and that was like from scraping it in there. You really kind of have to build this one up to get good pigmentation. All right, let's try a new shade. So I guess we'll take a little bit of this black. I'm gonna get a different brush though because I want something a little bit smaller. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in the outer corner. I don't know if I like this color, you guys. I never really use dark colors like this, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's me. I feel like it's the eyeshadow. I'm gonna try and copy it on the other side. But oh my gosh, I feel like I've had so many fail eyeshadow palettes at TJ Maxx lately, which sucks. I feel like my last one was a fail. I did the BECCA Volcano Goddess palette. I didn't care for it, and now this one's turning out to be a fail too. I'm going back in with that light brown to try and fix this. I feel like the best way to work with this shadow is just to lightly tap it in. Don't like swirl your brush or anything, but like tapping it seems to work best. Okay, next I wet my brush. I'm going to go in with this shade called Metallic Rose Gold, which looks like it's going to be absolutely beautiful, so I'm hoping that this one saves the palette. Oh yeah, this one's really pretty. It is kind of light, but it is absolutely stunning. And you can really build this up to intensify how shiny you want it to be, how pigmented. So yeah, I really do like that rose gold shade. I'm just gonna dip my finger into and intensify that even more. That shadow is so soft. And then with my finger, I'm going to dip into this, it's like a creamy yellow almost. It's called Metallic White Gold, and I'm going to put that in the inner corner of the eye. And then I'm just going to blend a little bit of that dusty pink shade on top just to blend everything together. So it created a very like light look. I don't really care for the black shade at all in this palette, I have to say. I feel like it is absolutely awful. Like I haven't had a shadow that bad in a long time. But the rose gold is really pretty. I do like it. It's not like super intense, but it is really nice. I kind of have to build it up a little bit and keep reapplying if I want it to keep its shine. Otherwise it does kind of blend away. Overall, I'm not really a fan of this palette at all. I'm kind of regretting buying it. I think it was like $16.99 too, so it wasn't like super cheap. But anyways, let's move on to the face. We're going to be using this NARS foundation. It's the Velvet Matte Foundation Stick. I've seen this. The stores are like loaded up on this product. This is in the shade Fiji Light 5. So to apply this, I'm going to go ahead and just mark it all over the face here. The color's a little bit off, but it's so hard to find a good color match at TJ Maxx, and my skin tone is always different. For some reason, this looks really patchy on me. I don't know if it's because this is too dark of a color. It's darker than my face, but it's funny because the last video I did testing out TJ Maxx makeup, I did the Stila foundation, and that one was patchy on me too. So I don't know if it's just because the coverage isn't full, so it's kind of hard to match when my face is a lot lighter than the rest of my body. And that could be why it's looking patchy, but it's looking pretty patchy on camera. Not so bad in person though. But I think we got it pretty well blended out. It's really a light to medium coverage, so this is kind of how it covers. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of it. Let me add concealer and see if that makes it any better. I'll actually go ahead and use this NARS concealer too in the shade Creme Brulee. So I'm going to use this to cover up my acne spots. Let me know down below in the comments. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys shop TJ Maxx as well, but it seems like I've had so many problems with the foundations they offer. So let me know if you guys do too. I don't know if it's just the foundation itself or if it's literally because it's older. I don't know. So you guys will have to let me know in the comments, but it just seems like I haven't really fallen in love with any foundations from TJ Maxx. But adding this concealer definitely helps add some coverage. I would say the concealer is pretty good. Alright, next up, we're going to use this underneath the eyes. This is the BECCA Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer. And yeah, I got this at TJ Maxx. I'm super curious to try it out. I got the shade Porcelain. I've heard very mixed reviews on this. I'm just going to use this underneath the eyes for today. It seems to have a thinner kind of consistency, so it's not super thick. We'll see how the coverage is though. Alright, so I'd say the coverage is like a medium coverage. It actually looks fairly nice underneath the eyes. And I would say it looks maybe a little bit luminous, but not too much, which is good because I do not like to look super shiny. Alright, so I'm going to do my brows next. I did put a little bit of setting powder underneath my eyes to set my concealer and a little bit just on the bottom half of my face. So I'm using this CHRISTIE Brinkley Take a Brow Defining Pencil that I found. A lot of you guys had wanted to know how I like these products, so we're going to be testing out a couple of them in today's video. The brow pencil goes on nice. You do kind of have to add in, it's not super creamy, which is fine with me, but I feel like the color looks good. And it does add, I would say it adds like kind of natural looking hairs, so I really like how that looks, just to add a little bit more definition. I feel like the color is nice. I know the Christie Brinkley products are priced really well at TJ Maxx, so I don't know. I think I like this brow product. I would definitely suggest picking it up if you guys find it. Next, we're going to use some mascara. So I just recently picked up this one from Laura Geller. It's the Lash Boss Max, and they should still have this one at the stores. My store was like stocked up on it, so I did want to go ahead and try it. This one has a very unique shaped brush, I will say. With these, I kind of like it to kind of swoop the lashes up and then go in with this little tip or little ball at the end and like separate the lashes. It kind of reminds me of the Benefit They're Real mascara, which I love the little tip at the end. I feel like this mascara is actually pretty good. That's kind of how they look on the top. I really like it. Alright, moving on to some bronzer here. I picked up the NARS Laguna bronzer. This one is the Sunwash Diffusing version, which I've heard mixed reviews on. I've heard that these can have hard pan and you kind of have to really dig your brush and scrape it in there to get product off, but we are going to try this out here. I'm just really going to dig my brush in there to get a lot of product. So yeah, I can see that like barely went on. Let's see if I can get some more. That added a little bit more, but it's still very light. Like you really have to rough this thing up. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So yeah, suggestion for this bronzer, really scrape it up a little bit. Kind of remove that first layer because it's just a little hard to work with at first, and then you should be good. This does seem a little more warm than I remember. Maybe I'm crazy. For blush, I'm going to use this Christie Brinkley one in the shade Posh. This one looks so pretty. Ooh, that has a lot of pigment to it. You really only need a little bit, but it goes on really smooth. So yeah, I would say that's a winner for sure. I really like the formula of that. I do have a bronzer too, so I am excited to try that out. This one was just really effortless. Like you saw, the bronzer we had to kind of work with, but this one just went right on. Next, we're going to do some highlighters. So we're going to be using the NARS Albatross highlighter, and I've been seeing this a lot still at my stores. I kind of got a lot there, but I think this one is more subtle. It kind of has almost a light gold reflect to it. Oh yeah, it goes on really gold, as you guys can see, but it's pretty. Like I was expecting this to actually be a lot more sheer because I've heard that it was sheer, but this actually looks really nice. And maybe it's the brush I'm using too. This is a Sigma Spotlight Duster. It does a really good job with the highlighters. And for lips, I want to finish with this BUXOM Shimmer Shock Lipstick. I think this color would be really pretty with this eye look. This is called Pyro. And I actually do like these, but they have a really weird smell to them. But I really like this color. It's really purpley though, but I think it's really pretty. It's not too shimmery, which is kind of what I was worried about. Alright, so I think that is going to complete this makeup look for today. I did want to quick do a little overview of the products. At first, I really thought this was going to be a fail, but it actually kind of turned out okay. I was really unsure about the eyeshadow look, but the more I'm looking at it, I actually think it kind of all came together and looks decent, but I really don't like that black in that palette. I think that just ruined it for me. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this. If you guys love like this rose gold shade, maybe go ahead and pick it up, but I would say for like, I think it was $16.99, I would go ahead and skip on it. I don't think it's really that great, and I don't see myself reaching for this hardly ever. I will say I do like how this primer felt on the skin. It was really soft. This was the SPACKLE Mattifying Oil Control Primer. I would definitely suggest it if you guys can pick it up. The Laura Geller stuff there is honestly really good. I haven't had a ton of fails from them. Obviously I really did like that Lash Boss Max from them too, so I would definitely snag that, because that was pretty good. If you guys like how my lashes look, I feel like it's not super volumizing, but it's very lengthening and it separates the lashes really nice. For the NARS foundation, I'm kind of unsure about how I feel on this. I don't think that I like this for me. I would say if you guys like a more light to medium coverage, maybe something for summertime, then I would suggest it. But if you guys are more into that full coverage look, I would go ahead and pass on it. It does look okay once everything is on, but you can just literally see all my acne spots, and I'm not a huge fan of that. Also, that NARS concealer that we use, I would say is okay. It didn't cover up perfectly. It did cover up a little bit just to add a little bit more coverage, but like, I don't know, I could not cover up this one spot, and then a couple down here, it just still wants to show through. So I think that was just okay. For the BECCA Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer, I use that one underneath my eyes, and I feel like it actually looks pretty good under there so far. Of course, I haven't really tested it out all day, but I think it's pretty good. If you guys like a lighter kind of coverage concealer that is more hydrating, I think you guys might like that. For the blush, I was really a huge fan of that. The CHRISTIE Brinkley products were actually probably the best from today. I really enjoy the blush in POSH. The eyebrow pencil from them, those definitely were winners from today. And then the NARS bronzer, I'm just not sure what's going on with this. I remember I used to love the Laguna shade, but you really have to dig in here to get some pigment. So I feel like it looks good though, but you just really have to work with it and dig your brush in there, kind of scrape the outer first layer off to get the product out. I do like this Albatross highlighter. It is very golden looking, so if you guys are more fair, I might avoid this one just because it might look a little bit too dark on you, but I feel like it looks really pretty on the skin and it gives a really nice glow. And then what else do we have? I think the lipstick, the BUXOM one, like I said, I do enjoy this. I feel like it's really pretty on the lips. It's a nice, fun, like purpley mauve tone, and it's not like too shimmery, but it kind of almost looks glossy, and it feels really nice too. So I think that's pretty much everything that I had to go over today. This is the finished makeup look. I do think it came out pretty decent. I feel like these videos always have very hit or miss products with TJ Maxx. I do find that sometimes like the lesser selling items from brands arrive there. Sometimes they do get like some best selling stuff, but you can sometimes really tell like why something is at TJ Maxx, like maybe the quality's not there, or just a lot of people haven't bought it, so it's like overstocked and they need to get rid of some. So that's kind of my opinions. I know a lot of people either love or hate these videos and don't agree with me. That's perfectly fine, but I love to test these products out for you guys so you guys know what is good at the stores, what to pick up. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye guys.